Hello and welcome. You're listening to Skipping Through Theatre. This is a podcast where we celebrate the magic of performance, from the unforgettable musicals and the powerful plays to the TV shows we can't stop talking about, and the behind-the-scenes stories that bring it all to life. It's about the laughter, the drama, and the moments that stay with us long after the curtain falls. So settle in and let's dive into today's episode.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Skipping Through Theatre podcast.
The podcast where we explore the stories and people behind the theatre you love.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Nathan. Today we're diving into something truly special, immersive theatre.
We're joined by a performer from Greece, the Immersive Movie Musical, Priscilla the Party, The Book of Mormon and many more. Please welcome Reece Kerridge.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Reece, it's great to have you on. So let's start at the beginning. How did you first get into performing?
I started dance classes when I was 3 years old. I did baby ballet, and long story short is I kind of got sent for discipline because I was a really naughty little kid, and I still am now. But yeah, so I went for discipline. I had this first lesson and I absolutely loved it. And I was very young, like my dance teacher didn't take students until they were 5 and I was 3. And she took a risk and I absolutely loved it. And I kept going back and then decided that it's what I wanted to do as a career. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
How long would the classes often be?
They weren't long. I mean, they were probably like half an hour or 40 minutes or something, concentration for kids.
Yeah,
a lot.
Very short.
But it was, all that baby ballet stuff of skipping around the room and, pointing toes, flexing your feet, good toes, naughty toes.
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And my teacher, Coral Stebbings, who, I'm in contact with now and still go back and do classes with. She's a Pilates and Zumba instructor. So I go back still, at 30 something years old, still go back to my roots and have classes with her because it's my foundation. It's where I started.
That's lovely though. It's nice to have that connection, especially because it's from childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, like, I don't know about yourselves, if you go to like any performing arts schools or dance classes, but you create such a community and like a family with each other.
100%.
Like I can see somebody that I went dancing with on the street and we'll have a massive catch up because we haven't seen each other in so long. And we just created these friendships and we called ourselves one big family. And we all looked out for each other outside of dance classes because some of us went to the same schools together. So we would see each other around school as well. So it was nice to have that connection with people, and obviously with Coral, my dance teacher, and Kay, who was my first ballet teacher at Coral School. It's so lovely, and Coral is so supportive and will come and see everything that I do. So yeah,
it's nice how everyone is a big community because it's so comforting to know that even though you only share it depends what class you do, but you share like a short-ish moment, but you're able to build that type of reliable bond is just amazing.
Absolutely. And I think it carries on later down into life as well, because you're not only there to learn dance skills, you learn communication with other people, you learn about people's personality. So it's not just about I'm going to dance class to learn to dance. You're going to learn how to be around people and how to communicate with people, which again happens down later in adult life as well. I always say to the students that I teach, no matter what career you decide to go into, whether it's theatre or not, the skills that you have learned from the arts are still so valuable and have a crossover in any career. So yeah, I think there's something so strong and powerful in theatre of having a sense of community.
I agree.
And it's amazing to just keep those friends for from theatre school and see what they're up to in many shows and go visit them and just keep in touch with them. It's amazing.
Oh God, absolutely. I did a show, I produced my own cabaret shows, and I did one back in my hometown in Suffolk. And one girl, I think it might be one or two girls actually, who I danced with in my same classes, were like, "Oh my God, Reece, we're going to come and see you. Like, we're so excited." And we hadn't seen each other for years. So it was really nice. And then there was 4 like what I call older girls who were above us. And they were like, "Oh, we've come for like a girly night out to see you." And it was so nice because, you know, when I was like, you know, 3 to 5, the older girls would come and assist in those classes. So we still, again, had that connection. So it was really nice to see those people. It's lovely. It's really nice. I love it.
Yeah. What's one of your earliest memories of being on stage?
Oh, God. I think the panto I absolutely love, and it's what I was brought up on as a kid. I did, you know, the amateur dramatics pantos, and obviously danced at the Coral Stebbing School of Theatre Dance. But I think the earliest stage memory I can remember is we were doing oh God, what was the panto? It was at the Riverside Theatre in Woodbridge. I think it was like Sleeping Beauty, and I was a Dalmatian dog. I was one of them. Princess Aurora's birthday presents.
I bet that was fun.
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I literally was in like this big fluffy like dog costume. The girls all painted my face with face paints, and
I bet you were so warm though.
oh my God, it was so hot, but it was really nice because the theatre in Woodbridge, the Riverside Theatre, it's very old now, is right by the river, so it's really cold in the winter. And
I bet it's really nice though, because the scenery must be pretty.
It's gorgeous. Woodbridge is an absolutely gorgeous place, and it's a very creative place. There's lots of people from the arts down that way. But during the panto, because there were so many of us, we had to be in porter cabins. They would hire in porter cabins, which was so cold. I just remember them being so cold.
No heating.
No, well, there was like a little heater in them, but you had to be careful because like porter cabins back then weren't the best. So yeah, I think that's the earliest memory that I can definitely think of. I think there was another panto even before that was Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, and I was like the 40th thief, which was like the youngest one. But my mum and dad will probably tell you that one. But the one that I absolutely remember is me being a spotty Dalmatian dog in panto at the Riverside Theatre. So yeah,
sounds fun. So have you always known you wanted to career in musical theatre, or did that develop over time?
I think I always knew I wanted to dance because I always danced. So from like 3 to, well, now I've always danced. I didn't start singing and acting until I was 16 because I went to do a BTEC National Diploma course at Colchester Institute. And that's kind of where I started to sing and dance. And I started having singing lessons locally with an amazing singing teacher, Roger, who taught me all the ropes, and adore him so much. So yeah, I think I have always known that it's what I want to do. I mean, my parents will be like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, you pranced around, and I used to create like shows and made my parents sit in my living room. And
I do that with my cousins.
Yeah, I made like the sets and everything. Like,
wow,
we used to have
everything.
Everything. We used to have these like Aera clothes horses that like opened up, and I used to put like blankets over them, and there'd be like the flats on like for like wings, and I'd have like costume changes, and God, yeah, I used to create loads of stuff when I was little. So yeah.
Jeez, I wasn't that good. Props to you. That is insane.
I remember when I was younger, I used to start singing A Whole New Road from Aladdin and have my chair and put my carpet over the top and pretend I was on the flying carpet. It was quite fun.
Oh, I love that. That was my song as well when I was young. I used to love Aladdin, the film. It's one of my favourite Disney films. But yeah, I was always such a creative kid, like making things and arts and crafts. And so the arts was definitely calling for sure.
Before Greece, were there any roles that really shaped your career or taught you something important?
Oh, that's such a good question. I've done such a variety of different things, from like panto to West End to touring to regional theatre to film and commercials. And I think each different job has taught me loads of different things. So I think The first job I did professionally was I did a couple of pantos when I was at college. And again, I learned so much, because what you learn at college, you then put into play, into these pantos, but you're also working with, you know, theatre professionals. So you're learning from those people, which is fantastic. And then my first like stage theatre show was Our House, the Madness musical at the Union Theatre in London. And we were all like pretty much fresh out of college, or very young. And then we had two older people. We had Sally and Dom, who were the mum and dad in the show. And God, yeah, I just learned so much from that, and being out in the industry, and meeting the most amazing people. And it was actually with Will and Joe. Well, Will and Joe, who run the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester. I worked with Will on Our House, who then offered me his pantomime that Christmas. So again, I learned about like networking and connections from that show, and then went into the West End, and like my whole entire world changed, because it's just completely different to what I had imagined it to be, in the best way possible. And I learned so much. And so I think there's something from each job that I've learned, because they've all been so different.
Especially like panto and musical theatre, they're quite different. So it's quite a change to go from being panto as a young age to going to musical theatre, because panto's more like interactive with the audience, isn't it? Like, and then musical theatre, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with, I mean, I grew up on panto, so it's what I call my gig. It's what I do. And it is very much that. It's that audience interaction. It's a completely different type of theatre to musical theatre shows. So yeah, panto has always been a big thing for me. And I did a little kids panto for 2 to 7 year olds. Christmas just gone, and I learned even more about panto because I was working with the incredible Debbie Flitcroft, Roy Hudd's wife, and she just taught me so much that I didn't know about panto that I really should have known. So it's things like that, you know, even growing up as an adult, I'm still learning. And that means that I've still got growth in the industry to do, which is great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Grease, Ewan, the Grease, the Immersive Movie Musical. What was it like stepping into a show where the audience is literally all around you?
So Grease was a very interesting experience. And because I had done Priscilla the Party, which was an immersive experience the year before, I had kind of delved into that world of immersive theatre. So I kind of knew what was coming, but on a scale as big as Secret Cinema, it was a complete eye-opener. I mean, Secret Cinema are fantastic. They create these worlds of the show and the films that they show. And it's just incredible. So with Grease, they had built everything from the film. So we had the Carnival Funfair outside. We had the school offices downstairs in the foyer, the gymnasium and the beauty school upstairs. And then in the main space, there was like the massive gymnasium for when we did the prom and the hand jive. They've built Frosty Palace, which is the diner. They've built the drive-in. They've built the Grease Lightning car area. So like all of this stuff was there and you were living in this world. And I just remember they filmed our reactions walking in to see the set on the first day that we'd got onto their production space. And everybody's jaw just hit the floor because we were rehearsing in small studios in East London. And you just get to these sets and you're like, oh my God, this has completely changed everything. Like we had a rough sketch of what we were going to do. And when you get there and it's like, everything is about to change. Like everything is about to change. But it was an experience and a half. I learned so much about the world of immersive theatre. I learned about people, the general public, and the way they react and present themselves in certain situations. And yeah, my God, it was like the best crazy Marmite experience you could ever imagine.
It must have been unreal.
It completely. And the thing is, it is unreal because the whole thing is real. Like, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, you are, like I say, you're living in this world and you're walking around as these characters that people know from the film and they just
Mm.
want to talk to you and interact with you. And that's weird, because going from like a stage show where, you know, everybody's sat down and they're quiet and they're listening and you know, reacting to the show in a quiet, respectful way, the immersive world, you create your own show and journey of what you want to do, who you want to see, where you want to stand. And I love that. There's something so special about that, that you can create your own audience journey.
The production that goes into it is also incredible, because
Yeah.
I can't imagine how long it must take to especially create all the scenes and replicate them, and all of the production that goes into like dancing around and just all of lighting. It's crazy.
Absolutely. So they did the show previously as like to see if they could tour the show, is what I had been told.
Mm.
And then they were like, well, let's do it again in a bigger space. And from, you know, talking to the producers and the artistic people of, this has been like a year in the making, if not more. And I met somebody new every single day, because there's so many people involved in this version of the show. You know, it's crazy. We all know each other as a cast, and we know the choreographer, we know the director, we know the MD, you know, we work with the band, but all of the people behind the scenes, like the sound people, the lighting people, the dressers, the wardrobe, the front of house, the production assistants, like, you would see somebody new every single day. You felt awful. You were like, I'm really sorry I've not met you. You know, hello, I'm so and so. What's your name? Because you're just constantly meeting new people, and it's wonderful. And even the front of house people that dealt with all the bars and the food were like so interactive, and they loved it. And with this amazing, lovely girl who went around selling programs, and she dressed up in the costume, and the merch booth, they were all dressed up in costume and talking in American accents, and it was wonderful. It was just, yeah, even I felt like I was like, I don't feel like I'm actually like working. I feel like I'm just living.
Just
and it
having
must
fun.
have felt like the actual movie set, like you're actually in the movie, because it's not like it's on the stage. It's like all around you. It's like they're filming the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, and you get and it is like meticulously like timed, because Secret Cinema normally does like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the world before, and then you watch the film. But with Greece, they decided that they were going to act out at the same time as the film. So it had to be meticulously timed. So like, you knew that you had 20 seconds to get changed or 30 seconds to get changed, and you had to leave when you heard a certain line, and you had to be in a certain place at a certain time for the next bit to happen, and things like that. So it's really difficult in that respect. And then you put 2,000 people in a room, and you just can't predict where they're going to walk or where they're going to be. So you have to allow that. So, you know, there's a lot of adapting, and I think that was a big lesson to learn.
Did you find, like, performing in the immersive environment, did it change the way you connected with your character?
Yes, absolutely. And it's a big Secret Cinema thing that you are to be in character the entire time that you're on show, just to make that world believable. And it's 110% true. You know, like, people will want to talk to you, so you have to, in your head, have like I had little things, like lines or like conversation starters that I could have with people, and people would try and catch you out. Like, they were quite clever in how they spoke to you, because they want you to try and break character. But so you have to be really secure on who you are as a character, and you have to have all this backstory and stuff, which is all done in rehearsals, and everybody's really good at that. And there's lots of people who have done Secret Cinema before, so there's lots of people to talk to, and get their experiences and how they work immersively. But it was such a skill, and it's a real people thing. You kind of have to be really good at improvisation and really good at people skills, as well as being a really good actor. But yeah, people try and catch you out. It's fantastic how people try and work. And I remember my old drama teacher from school came, and she came with her friends, and they were all cheerleaders. Well, of course, I played Tom Chisholm, the high school jock. So like they kind of would like always come and find me and like talk to me, and I was like, this is really weird because you know me, but I have to act as if I don't know you, but I know the character that you're trying to be. It was really weird. It was such mind games, but it was, oh god, it was fantastic. It was so different every night, and that's what I love.
Yeah, because it shows that you won't get bored of it as well.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
So, were there any unexpected challenges you had to overcome performing so closely with the audience?
Yes. I think with a show like Grease, it's a very cult show, so everybody knows Grease. There's a certain generation that grew up with Grease. So what was really nice was there was a lot of different ages. We had kids come, which for me was the best bit because the kids were so engaged and they would run up to you and then they wouldn't know what to say, so you had to use those conversation starters. And whenever there were kids in, I used to spend most of my time with the kids. I
don't blame you.
I love this. Like, you're just so engaged and you want to talk. And I'd be like, do you want to go and meet Sandy? I'm going to go and meet Sandy. Come with me. And like all the kids would be like, yeah. I want to meet Sandy. And they'll be like, I want to meet Danny. And I'd be like, cool, let's go and meet Danny. Like, just take these kids to go. Like, but then you would have like people that grew up with the film and it was like, their childhood. And so there were many challenges in that. Some people came and they were on let's just say like a night out or a hen party. So things could get very raucous. So you had to kind of deal with, all sorts of audience interactions, from people that didn't want to interact with you, people that wanted to look at you and watch what you were doing but not talk to you, people wanted to talk to you consistently but they were absolutely fine, and then there was people that were quite intoxicated that wanted to talk to you, which led to many other things of cast members unfortunately being touched and things like that, and you have to say you cannot touch us, and you can break character if things become a bit more of a serious situation. And again, you are assisted and trained through the rehearsal process. So it's dealing with anything that kind of comes towards you face on. But you are so equipped and there are so many people around you, like the front of house staff and the security, that can look after you. So there were situations where security had to step in and help certain performers out. So yeah, you kind of, once it's happened once, you know kind of what to do and how to deal with things and the protocols in place. And Secret Cinema are fabulous. They have a traffic light system of red, amber, green. Of it's a green, I'm okay, I can carry on, or amber, I need to take some time away from the space, but I will come back. And red is I'm out, I'm finished for the show. Let's get a cover or a swing. So we were so well looked after, and I think immersive events are very much becoming that way, in more safety for the performers' point of view.
It's good to have the preparation though for it to expect, but it's awful that people act that way. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah, and yes, in a way, and I just think some people just get so carried away. That I think they just forget, because there were situations where people were like, I'm very sorry, yeah, absolutely no, that was completely my fault. So I think people just get so involved in what's going on, and they feel they're so believable within the world, that people forget, I think, sometimes. And a really interesting one was at the start of that show, me and Coach Calhoun used to stand on like the balcony in the foyer area, because that's where our gymnasium was. And we used to watch the doors open and people would run like Usain Bolt to get into the place. And we were like, what's going through their heads? And that was
the
another
need?
Thing, but it was so interesting being a character that could step away from it and observe. Like, I just used to find little areas to stand in and observe in the corner. And just watch audience members and think, what is going on in their heads right now? Like, what are they thinking? What do they want to do? What is their next move? So it became really interesting for me in that respect as well, of watching the audiences and how they react and what they were thinking and what they were going to do. So, oh my God, it's just like I'm such a people watcher as well. So it was like my ideal job.
Yeah. Is there anything you wish someone had told you when you first started performing?
Oh my God, that is such a good question. I think I was told that the industry was hard, but I don't think I believed people enough. So I would have loved to have been told that even more how hard it was going to be, and especially how hard it was going to be the older you get. And I think that the career, what I call the career ladder climb, is really, really hard in the industry. You know, like ensemble to second cover to first cover to alternate to standby to playing the roles. You know, people don't tell you enough how hard it's going to be. I had a wonderful, wonderful dear friend of mine on Priscilla, who was our associate, who had said to me, "What do you want to do after this?" And I was like, "I want to play the roles. I want to play the parts." And he came out outright and said, "It is going to be the hardest time for you because you are going to have to work from the ground up again." And that has always stuck with me. And it is true. It's true. You play these roles and people see you as a specific role. And then you have to rebuild and go again. You know, the career that you've built from ensemble up, you now have to build from the bottom of the roles up again. And there's even more competition because there's less of those roles rather than like 20 ensemble tracks that are going in a show. So it's hard in that respect as well to climb the career ladder.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of willpower as well, because it's a lot of you're going to get a lot of rejections until you get the piece that's like, I don't know how to word it, but just like,
people always say you're going to get more rejections, more no's than you are yeses, and that is absolutely true. Like, I've had so many no's in my career. Like, I've probably done 10 odd shows, or you know, and with a few gigs on the side. But compared to how many I've auditioned for, the gap is mammoth.
But just look at the shows you've been in. It's crazy.
I have been very, very lucky. Yes, very lucky.
It's well deserved though, because you've been through so much to get there, and been through so many auditions, and you've just excelled.
Yeah, and it's just keeping that positivity as well, which is really hard. I mean, my God, the amount of negative and down days that I have, I would never sugarcoat that, because it is. There's a lot, but you just have to keep going. I just have to pick myself up. I have to keep going. Something will come around the corner, and also as well, have something alongside you that you like, and you're going to make money from as like a side hustle, rather than, you know, going to work in a pub, which is quite soul destroying. Like, have a side hustle that you can make money from that you enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's time for our classic quickfire round. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Favorite musical?
Gypsy.
Favorite song from Greece?
Oh, You're the One That I Want.
Dream role?
Oh, I've already done it. Adam, Felicia, and Priscilla.
Pre-show ritual snack?
Oh God, that's a really difficult one. It'll probably be a bag of crisps of some sort.
Ooh, fair. Stage show or immersive show?
Stage show.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you both.
Yes, it's been brilliant hearing
too.
your stories.
Don't forget to follow Skipping Through Theatre on social media and your favorite streaming platforms for more episodes like this.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.